The sun rose slowly, casting golden rays over the gathering disciples seated beneath the ancient banyan tree's canopy. Ananda's voice broke the morning's stillness as he spoke with visible discontent about life's monotony. Master, I feel trapped in the endless repetition of my days, robbed of excitement and delight in existence. His companions nodded, sharing similar grievances about their lives, feeling uninspired and burdensome, devoid of anything refreshing or meaningful. The surrounding air seemed heavy with dissatisfaction, the natural harmony interrupted by restless minds searching for something greater. Buddha sat quietly, his composed presence radiating serenity, and he watched their expressions as they poured out their concerns. Rahula continued, his words tumbling out like a rushing stream. My mind cannot be still. Ananda, he began, do you truly believe life itself has grown monotonous? Or is it your perception that has dulled? Ananda hesitated, unsure, his gaze lowered in contemplation, his thoughts swimming amidst waves of uncertainty. But Master, each day feels identical to the previous one, each task mundane and offering no spark of joy. Buddha gestured toward a small sparrow flitting between tree branches, its graceful movements unfolding like a dance in the sunlight. Observe this sparrow, he urged, its wings cutting through the air, each flight unique though seemingly the same to hurried eyes. The disciples watched the bird, its patterns shifting as it darted here and there, no motion exactly replicated twice. Life is not stagnant, Buddha continued, but the mind often grows complacent, dismissing subtleties and depth in favor of broader judgments. His gaze swept across the group, each face reflecting a mix of curiosity and uncertainty under his steadfast gaze. Let me ask you this, do the rivers cease their flow, or do we fail to notice their ever-changing surface? Ananda considered the question, recalling countless moments when flowing waters had blurred together in the tapestry of daily life. Master, the rivers continue flowing, but I rarely notice the ripples or the reflections dancing upon their surface. Buddha's lips curved softly into a smile as he observed Ananda's newfound realization emerging like dawn breaking. The horizon, the essence of life, lies within its movement, its constant rhythm and unpredictability. Yet our minds favor static constructs. One of the disciples interjected, but Master, how can we awaken ourselves to this truth when our thoughts remain clouded and distracted? Buddha spoke gently, awakening begins not through external means but through mindfulness and a willingness to see what lies before you. Buddha smiled faintly, the corners of his lips lifting with understanding. True, Rahula. Master, Ananda said hesitantly, are you saying my wealth binds me as the cattle bound the farmer? Indeed, Ananda, the Buddha replied. Attachments, no matter their form, sow the seeds of fear and suffering in the heart. Sit here among the flowers, he instructed, and listen to their whispers carried on the wind, as nature reveals its secrets. The disciples obeyed, each one drawn by Buddha's wisdom and by the allure of nature's vivid display surrounding them. The Master spoke again, this time observing the far horizon, the merging lines between earth and sky framing his insight. The world speaks constantly, its voice woven through the sound of rain, the rustle of leaves, and the songbirds' cries. The Buddha continued, reflect on the nature of impermanence, and understand that clinging to what changes leads to suffering. Master, is there a way to practice this understanding in daily life? Ananda inquired, seeking guidance for his path. Their veins are intricate, he admitted, woven like threads by unseen hands, creating symmetry I once ignored in haste. Buddha nodded, his approval fostering deeper reflection and understanding among his disciples as their vision sharpened further. Share your wealth, and observe how it lightens the burden of attachment. Generosity opens the heart and plants the seeds of compassion. which flourish into freedom from fear, the Buddha explained. Buddha smiled once more, his expression reflecting affirmation and hope. As he addressed the comment with clarity, the wind indeed carries tales. Not of distant lands but of the interconnected rhythms that unite all living beings. The disciples sat in silence, mindful of their surroundings, gradually attuned to the intricacies unnoticed in moments prior. Time passed with subdued grace, the sunlight shifting to accommodate nature's continued dance across the vibrant landscape. Buddha spoke again, his voice imbued with the wisdom of experience, offering guidance toward renewed perspectives. Excitement exists within mindfulness and within discovering the joy embedded in life's simple yet profound elements. He paused, allowing his words to resonate, planting seeds of insight within the fertile soil of their curious minds. Cherish the impermanence of all things, and let the present moment unravel its gifts to you without pretense. The Buddha nodded, a faint smile gracing his lips, and turned his attention back to the disciples gathered around him. Ananda rose, his heart filled with a newfound resolve to walk the path the Buddha had illuminated for him. As he departed the monastery, the fragrance of the sala trees seemed sweeter, their blossoms radiant under the amber skies. Each step felt lighter, as if he were not merely leaving but beginning a journey towards a deeper, truer fulfillment. Another day, another moment under the sala tree. The Buddha sat serenely, his presence radiating calm that drew disciples closer. Ananda returned to the Jetavana monastery, his face reflecting both resolve and lingering questions about the impermanence of possessions. His disciples nodded solemnly, their minds enriched and their hearts awakened to life's essence once more. Under the banyan tree's shade, their spirits found renewal, and their journey continued along the path illuminated by Buddha's wisdom. Ananda, the roots of fear run deep, nourished by misunderstanding and the illusion of permanence, the Buddha said, his voice steady. I wish to understand more, Master, Ananda replied earnestly, so that I may truly free my heart from this fear. Master, began Ananda, his voice measured but heavy, we strive to find beauty in each moment, yet excitement continues to elude us. The others nodded in agreement, voices echoing the sentiment of days filled with effort yet lacking true fulfillment or joy. One day, while digging in his field, the potter unearthed a golden vessel, its brilliance dazzling in the sunlight. He said, at first, the potter marveled at his discovery, believing it to be a blessing from the gods. Buddha explained gently. His neighbors, upon learning of the golden vessel, began to visit him frequently, their curiosity thinly veiling envy. The Buddha said. The potter, sensing their intentions, grew wary and began hiding the vessel, fearing it might be stolen. Buddha continued. Upon reaching the hilltop, Buddha spoke softly, inviting the disciples to sit among the wildflowers and observe the vivid surroundings. This hill hosts the same earth as the banyan, Buddha remarked. Yet its beauty lies within the mind's readiness to behold. The disciples settled into the grass, their eyes wandering over colors more vibrant than their daily struggles had allowed them to notice. Buddha gestured toward a cluster of daisies, the petals kissed by sunlight and trembling as the breeze passed through. Simply observe your breath as it flows naturally. The disciples began to mimic the practice, their collective breaths forming a rhythm under the banyan tree. Master, its balance feels serene, Ananda admitted, though I overlooked such wonder before, blinded by my preoccupation with expectation. Buddha nodded, his approval evident in his steady expression as he guided their minds deeper into nature's subtle lessons. True excitement requires no chase, Buddha explained, but instead arrives when the ordinary is embraced as extraordinary by an awakened mind. Another disciple murmured hesitantly, Master, I hear the wind, yet its song feels faint. unable to ignite joy within my heart's confines. Buddha gestured again, this time toward a stream nearby, its waters glistening under sunlight, its flow both steady and melodic. Listen carefully, Buddha instructed. Its current carries rhythm and story alike, whispering unity within the fragmented pieces of existence. The group moved toward the stream, observing ripples breaking gently against stones, forming patterns that shifted and reformed without end. Nature holds within it boundless joy, Buddha said, hidden not by circumstance but by our distraction and refusal to truly perceive. Begin by practicing mindfulness, Ananda, the Buddha advised. Observe the nature of your thoughts and how they attach to impermanence. Mindfulness will reveal that clinging arises from the illusion that possessions define your identity and provide lasting security, Buddha said. Once you see through this illusion, you can cultivate detachment, which frees the heart and brings genuine peace, Buddha explained. Master, he said, does the tree understand its purpose, even in stillness? Buddha's eyes twinkled faintly, as though amused by the question. The tree does not question its purpose. Rahula, he said, the setting sun painted the horizon in hues of orange and gold. Its descent measured yet captivating against the vast canvas above. Buddha broke the silence once more, his voice grounding their thoughts, reinforcing the importance of present awareness over fleeting indulgence. Excitement surfaces when we detach ourselves from expectation, permitting joy to arise naturally within the rhythms we often overlook. Ananda responded, thoughtfully, Master, our lives have been clouded by distraction, yet each moment now feels ripe with meaning if observed carefully. Rahula could see the image clearly. The archer pausing, the tension in the bowstring, the focus in his eyes. The archer's stillness is what allows him to release the arrow with precision, Buddha said. Rahula nodded slowly, his resistance beginning to crumble like dried leaves underfoot. Master, Rahula said, his voice softer now, how can I practice stillness when the world demands so much of me? Buddha gestured to the disciples, who sat in attentive silence. Their expressions showed subtle changes, reflecting the growing mindfulness cultivated during recent teachings. Though questions still lingered in their hearts, Ananda stepped forward with a thoughtful look, his voice quiet but steady as he addressed the Buddha. Master, he began, joy has become more apparent to me, yet sustaining it feels challenging amid life's shifting circumstances. The other disciples echoed this sentiment, their curiosity tinged with uncertainty as they sought the means to anchor their newfound awareness. Buddha's calm gaze swept across them, his presence an embodiment of the lessons he shared. Measured and gentle, rising from his seat, he motioned for them to accompany him once more, his steps deliberate as he chose their next path. They followed without hesitation, their trust in him unwavering, eager to delve deeper into the mysteries of mindful living. The group arrived at a clearing, its expanse framed by a stream that meandered gently through the landscape. An invitation to pause. Buddha gestured for them to sit along the stream's edge, their positions close enough to hear its quiet song. His voice, when it came, carried the clarity of reflection and the warmth of encouragement as he began to address their concerns. The stream flows with grace, Buddha said, carving its path through the earth, unhurried by the obstacles it encounters. He picked up a smooth stone from the bank, its surface rounded by time, and held it for the disciples to see. This stone, he continued, has been shaped by the water's persistence, a reminder of change through gentle yet consistent effort. Ananda reached out to touch the stone, its cool surface tangible evidence of the lessons spoken, its weight grounding his thoughts. Master, he said, does the stone resist the water? Or does it yield, allowing its form to adapt over time? Buddha's serene expression held traces of approval as he replied, the stone yields. for resistance often breeds suffering, while yielding permits transformation. Another disciple leaned forward, their curiosity deepening as they considered Buddha's words and the implications for their own lives. Master, is joy then found not in avoiding challenges but in flowing with them, like the stream navigating obstacles? Buddha smiled, his approval evident, as he nodded and continued to elaborate on the wisdom inherent in the stream's movements. Indeed, joy emerges when we embrace life's currents, neither clinging to stillness nor fearing the changes each moment may bring. He placed the stone back on the ground, its presence seemingly unremarkable yet resonating deeply within the context of their discussion. The disciples turned their attention to the stream, its surface mirroring the sky's shifting clouds, each ripple a lesson in impermanence. Buddha's voice softened as he spoke again, his tone inviting contemplation while weaving their understanding into a coherent whole. Mindfulness reveals joy in both calm and turbulence, for each carries lessons that shape the heart like water shapes stone. The sparrow returned, its song interwoven with the stream's melody, its vitality an affirmation of the harmony present in nature. Ananda watched the sparrow, its presence a small yet profound detail he once might have overlooked before embracing mindfulness. Master, he said, even the sparrow's flight seems deliberate, each movement purposeful and imbued with grace that transcends simplicity. Buddha observed the sparrow as it flitted between branches, its dance a vivid display of life's inherent beauty and spontaneity. The sparrow reminds us, Buddha said, that joy need not be grandiose but resides in the freedom of each moment's unfolding. The sunlight shifted, dappling the ground with patterns of light and shadow, the scene dynamic yet tranquil in its essence. A disciple spoke hesitantly, their voice seeking reassurance. Master, how do we retain such clarity amidst life's inevitable distractions and the demands placed upon us daily? Buddha's gaze remained steady as he replied, by returning to the present moment, grounding ourselves in breath, and witnessing life as it is. The group fell silent, their thoughts converging on the interplay of breath, awareness, and the unfolding tapestry of existence before them. Time seemed to slow as they practiced mindfulness together, their senses attuned to the subtleties often ignored in haste. A raindrop fell, its descent captured by a single leaf before journeying onward to the ground, its path unbroken and fluid. Buddha gestured toward the raindrop, his words framing its journey as a metaphor for their own paths of growth and discovery. Like the raindrop, Buddha said, our lives are transient, yet their significance lies within the moments they touch and transform. Ananda regarded the leaf, its surface now glistening where the droplet had landed, a microcosm of interconnectedness illuminated. Master, the leaf and the rain seem bound by their shared moment, an instance fleeting yet profound in its impact. Buddha's approval manifested in a gentle nod, his presence exuding encouragement as he expanded upon the insight Ananda shared. Yes, and within that shared moment lies the essence of joy, a union formed through openness to experience without grasping. Another disciple echoed the realization, their voice carrying newfound conviction. Master, then joy requires neither seeking nor possession but arises from communion with what already exists. The stream continued its flow, undisturbed by their reflections, its presence steady amidst the dialogues that unfolded along its bank. Buddha's voice grew quieter, its resonance amplified by the truth it carried, as he shared a final reflection to guide their practice further. Live each moment as though encountering it for the first time, for therein lies the wonder and joy of simply being. The disciples bowed deeply, their gratitude expressed not in words but in the reverence woven into their movements and expressions. The day continued, its rhythm unbroken yet transformed, enriched by the teachings that illuminated their paths toward deeper understanding. I will dedicate myself to the practices you have taught and cultivate the walls of wisdom." The Buddha nodded, his serene expression a silent encouragement, as Ananda prepared to deepen his journey towards inner freedom. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.